Imagine this: the roar of 300 miles per hour, engines screaming, tires smoking, and the world's fastest cars hurtling around a track while tens of thousands of fans hold their breath. Now, picture the checkered flag being waved, not by a seasoned F1 official, but by none other than Kim Kardashian, reality TV superstar, beauty mogul, and one of the most recognizable women in the world. The announcement alone has sent shockwaves through social media, motorsport forums, and the celebrity news cycle, leaving fans and critics alike asking, could Kim Kardashian actually wave the checkered flag at an F1 Grand Prix? And what would it mean for the sport, the spectacle, and American pop culture? In Melbourne, the Australian Grand Prix CEO has publicly stated that Kardashian would be warmly welcomed, even hinting that the organizers would find a role for her on the grid if she decides to attend. Sources suggest that could include the ceremonial honor of waving the checkered flag, a role historically reserved for seasoned officials or celebrity guests carefully chosen for their public appeal. This development is fueling a perfect storm of fascination and controversy, a collision of high-octane motorsport and Hollywood glamour, a headline-grabbing intersection of engines and influencer culture. But to fully understand why this moment matters, we need to go deeper. Formula One is no longer just a European or British sport. It has evolved into a global phenomenon, with billion-dollar sponsorships, streaming audiences in the hundreds of millions, and a growing U.S. fan base thanks to recent Netflix docuseries coverage. The introduction of a figure like Kim Kardashian into its ceremonial ritual is not a mere publicity stunt. It is emblematic of a broader trend where celebrity, social media influence, and traditional sports converge to create an entirely new spectacle. Historically, F1 has occasionally welcomed celebrity guests in ceremonial roles. John Travolta waved the checkered flag at the 2010 Australian Grand Prix, and other international events have seen actors, musicians, and even royalty step into the spotlight for a moment on the track. The optics are clear. F1 is more than racing. It's theater, marketing, and cultural spectacle rolled into one. In the case of Kardashian, the stakes are amplified. Her rumored connection with seven-time world champion Lewis Hamilton, though unconfirmed, adds a layer of intrigue that makes headlines worldwide, blending the worlds of celebrity gossip with elite motorsport. This is more than a question of whether she'll show up. It's a question of what it represents. A new era where sports, pop culture, and social media influence merge, where a single Instagram post can rival traditional sports broadcasting in reach and engagement. Fans, critics, and journalists alike are watching closely. Some are thrilled at the potential crossover appeal, imagining a boost in American engagement with F1. Others bristle, questioning whether a reality TV star has a place in the ceremonial traditions of one of the most technical and historically grounded sports on the planet. The story starts months before the 2026 Australian Grand Prix, with subtle but increasingly visible signals in both the celebrity world and the F1 paddock. Reports suggest that Kim Kardashian and Lewis Hamilton, seven-time Formula One world champion, have been spotted together multiple times across high-profile locations in the United States and Europe. From Los Angeles to Miami, paparazzi snapshots show coordinated appearances, private outings, and luxury cars parked side by side. While neither Kardashian nor Hamilton has publicly confirmed a romantic relationship, sources indicate that race organizers are aware of the attention this pairing generates, recognizing it as a potential magnet for American audiences who are increasingly tuning into Formula One thanks to Netflix's Drive to Survive series. The first official public indication that Kardashian could play a ceremonial role came during an Australian media interview with Andrew Westacott, the CEO of the Australian Grand Prix Corporation. Westacott reportedly stated, Kim Kardashian would be warmly welcomed. If she wants to come, we'll find a role for her. That could include waving the checkered flag or presenting a trophy on the grid. The comments immediately went viral, shared across global social media platforms, generating tens of thousands of reactions within hours. Analysts note that such a statement, while cautious, is a significant endorsement. It signals that F1 organizers are not just tolerating the idea, but actively exploring it as part of their event programming. The potential for Kardashian to wave the checkered flag is not without precedent. Historically, F1 has invited celebrities to perform ceremonial duties. John Travolta famously waved the checkered flag at the 2010 Australian Grand Prix, and other events in Monaco, Abu Dhabi, and Bahrain have featured actors, musicians, and royalty taking ceremonial roles. These appearances often serve dual purposes. They honor the celebrity's public stature while simultaneously boosting the sport's media visibility, a key factor in the global expansion of F1 into markets like the United States, China, and the Middle East. Given Kardashian's immense social media following, over 400 million across Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, her participation could translate into a massive digital audience, extending F1's reach far beyond traditional broadcast channels. Timeline reports suggest the following sequence of events. January 2026. Rumors emerge in European tabloids linking Kardashian to Hamilton, igniting speculation about a potential Australian GP appearance. February 2026. Paparazzi captures several public outings, fueling social media debates about their relationship status. March 2026. Westacott's comments in Australian media confirm that organizers are open to Kardashian's involvement in ceremonial capacities. March 2026. Ongoing media coverage intensifies, with outlets from Herald Sun to F1 Mania reporting on both the potential attendance and the broader cultural implications. Social media explodes with speculation, memes, and heated debates. Alongside these developments, F1 teams and sponsors are reportedly assessing the implications. While there is no official statement from Mercedes-AMG Petronas, Hamilton's current team, insider sources suggest that marketing departments are quietly enthusiastic. The prospect of Kardashian attending, whether waving the checkered flag, presenting a trophy, or even appearing on the grid, is being seen as a rare opportunity to blend motorsport with mainstream celebrity culture in a way that could significantly increase U.S. viewership and sponsorship interest. Yet, as is often the case with high-profile celebrity involvement in sports, the announcement has not been universally embraced. Purists argue that the checkered flag is a symbol of racing tradition and precision, not social media clout. Critics point out that F1 is a sport rooted in engineering, split-second decisions, and historical prestige. Inserting a celebrity into such an iconic role risks diluting the gravitas of the event. On the flip side, proponents highlight that the sport thrives on spectacle, global attention, and fan engagement. If the goal is to capture new demographics, particularly younger audiences in the US, Kardashian is arguably one of the most effective ambassadors imaginable. The question of Kim Kardashian waving the checkered flag at the Australian Grand Prix isn't just a novelty for gossip columns. It raises complex layers of legal, political, financial, and cultural considerations within the F1 ecosystem. To understand the stakes, one must first grasp the meticulous planning behind an F1 race. Every moment on the grid, every ceremonial act, and every interaction with drivers and officials is governed by strict safety regulations, FIA protocols, and contractual obligations. Reports suggest that before a celebrity steps onto the tarmac, organizers must coordinate with the Fédération Internationale de l'Automobile, FIA, ensuring compliance with track safety rules, emergency procedures, and team schedules. For instance, the checkered flag itself is more than a symbol. It signals the end of a race, a technical cue recognized by drivers and race control. Any ceremonial intervention must be choreographed to the second, and sources confirm that the F1 operations team would provide full safety briefings and rehearsals if Kardashian participates. From a political angle, the move represents a deliberate strategy by F1 and event organizers to capture the American market, which has rapidly become one of the sport's fastest-growing audiences. Since the debut of the Miami Grand Prix in 2022 and the increasing broadcast deals with ESPN and streaming services, American viewership has surged, and celebrity involvement is increasingly leveraged to maximize media attention. Experts in sports marketing suggest that having Kim Kardashian, arguably one of the most recognized U.S. figures globally, on the grid could act as a gateway to a demographic that might never otherwise watch Formula One, effectively merging traditional motorsport audiences with the influencer-driven, social media-savvy generation. Financially, the implications are striking. Formula One is not only a sport, it is a billion-dollar entertainment enterprise. Sponsors pay tens of millions of dollars per Grand Prix for exposure, hospitality access, and media reach. According to analysts, a celebrity like Kardashian attending the grid could multiply digital impressions exponentially, as her social media posts alone could reach hundreds of millions of users worldwide. Sources suggest that brands already affiliated with F1, from luxury automakers to high-end fashion houses, would see this as a unique cross-promotional opportunity, blending motorsport, fashion, and pop culture in a way that traditional sponsorship campaigns rarely achieve. Public reaction, however, is split. Traditional F1 fans, especially purists who follow the sport for its engineering excellence and historical depth, express skepticism. Forums and fan boards are filled with debates. Is this still racing, or just a celebrity spectacle? On the other side, casual viewers and social media communities celebrate the crossover, highlighting the potential for cultural relevance and increased engagement. Trending hashtags like #KimAtF1 and #Chequered Kardashian are already circulating, with millions of impressions in the past 48 hours, suggesting that the cultural impact could rival even major race outcomes. Media coverage amplifies this duality. Outlets like the Herald Sun, F1 Mania, and mainstream U.S. entertainment media are framing the story not only as a motorsport event but as a broader pop cultural moment, blending reality television intrigue with world-class sport. Reports indicate that this could set a precedent for how F1 integrates influencers and celebrities into its highly curated brand, potentially influencing other Grand Prix locations to adopt similar strategies. In conclusion, the expert consensus is that while the decision may seem superficial at first glance, it is in fact a calculated intersection of marketing, audience growth, and entertainment strategy. The legal, logistical, and financial frameworks exist to accommodate such participation safely. Politically and culturally, the move could accelerate F1's penetration into the U.S., leveraging a global celebrity whose personal brand commands attention far beyond traditional sports coverage. Yet, it remains a delicate balance. The spectacle must enhance, rather than undermine, the sport's credibility, a challenge that organizers and teams will navigate carefully in the lead-up to the event. Within hours of Andrew Westicott's announcement that Kim Kardashian could be welcomed to the Australian Grand Prix, the digital world erupted. Social media platforms became a storm of speculation, memes, and debates, highlighting the power of celebrity culture intersecting with elite motorsport. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and even Reddit forums ignited with conversations ranging from excitement to incredulity. Hashtags such as #KimAtF1, #Chequered Kardashian, and #KardashianGP trended globally, generating millions of impressions within the first 48 hours. On TikTok alone, creators began producing short-form videos imagining Kardashian waving the checkered flag, remixing clips of F1 races with pop music and glamorous visuals, turning the story into an entertainment spectacle almost instantly. Americans are deeply polarized on the topic. On one side, fans of Kardashian and followers of pop culture celebrate the potential appearance, viewing it as a symbol of influence crossing over into traditionally inaccessible spaces. Clips of her on the red carpet, her media appearances, and past high-profile celebrity events are being circulated with captions such as, "Finally, F1 meets Hollywood," and "This is the content we didn't know we needed." Some even joke that her presence could boost U.S. viewership more than any driver's performance, highlighting the shift in media consumption patterns where star power can rival sporting skill in grabbing public attention. Meanwhile, traditional F1 communities voice a contrasting perspective. Forums like r/Formula One and fan discussion boards see posts ranging from skeptical to downright critical. "This is a circus now, not a Grand Prix," wrote one user, echoing a sentiment shared by longtime fans who fear that celebrity involvement could overshadow the sport itself. Others debate the historical significance of the checkered flag, insisting that only someone with direct connection to motorsport or racing credibility should be allowed on the grid. Analysts note that this tension between spectacle and sport is not new but is amplified in the digital age, where every social media post becomes part of the public narrative. The explosion isn't limited to commentary. It's visual and viral. Memes depicting Kardashian in racing suits, waving giant checkered flags, or seated in a Formula One car alongside Lewis Hamilton are circulating across Instagram stories and TikTok duets. Late-night shows and YouTube commentary channels have already begun producing reaction videos, dissecting potential scenarios with humor and speculation. Sources suggest that the virality of these clips has pushed the story into mainstream news coverage in the US, with major networks reporting on the Kardashian F1 crossover as a cultural moment, not merely a celebrity appearance. Interestingly, social media sentiment also hints at broader cultural conversations. Some see Kardashian's potential involvement as emblematic of a shift where influencer power and sports authority converge, raising questions about the evolving meaning of celebrity, authority, and fan engagement. Others debate gender dynamics, noting that high-profile women participating in motorsport ceremonies remain rare, which adds a layer of social commentary on representation in elite sports. According to digital analytics firms, posts discussing Kardashian at F1 have achieved engagement rates rivaling major race results, demonstrating the immense influence of celebrity culture in shaping contemporary sports narratives. Overall, the social media explosion surrounding Kim Kardashian's potential F1 appearance highlights a perfect storm: a celebrity with unmatched global recognition, a sport seeking to expand its American audience, and a digital landscape designed to amplify spectacle and drama. The conversation has already transcended motorsport, becoming a pop culture phenomenon that blends fandom, controversy, humor, and speculation into a single viral moment. Whether or not she ultimately waves the checkered flag, the online footprint of this story has already rewritten the narrative for F1's American audience. If Kim Kardashian does step onto the F1 grid to wave the checkered flag, the reverberations could extend far beyond a single Grand Prix weekend. Reports and industry analysis suggest that this moment could signal a new era in motorsport marketing, where traditional fan bases intersect with influencer-driven audiences to create hybrid forms of engagement. Formula One has long been regarded as a sport of precision, engineering, and elite competition, yet its rapid globalization in the 21st century has revealed a willingness to embrace spectacle alongside speed. The Kardashian scenario embodies this evolution, a convergence of sporting tradition and pop cultural strategy that could redefine how F1 presents itself to the world. One immediate implication involves audience expansion, particularly in the United States. Since the launch of the Miami Grand Prix and the surge in popularity of Netflix's Drive to Survive, American viewership has surged to unprecedented levels. F1 analysts predict that celebrity involvement, especially someone with Kardashian's massive social media footprint, could propel U.S. engagement even further, drawing in viewers who may never have watched a race before. This isn't just about clicks or likes. It could influence broadcasting rights negotiations, sponsorship deals, and long-term revenue streams. Major brands may see this as an opportunity to leverage the crossover appeal, blending luxury automotive marketing with pop culture to reach both traditional F1 fans and younger, digitally native audiences. Beyond marketing, the move could influence the culture of celebrity participation in sports globally. Historically, ceremonial roles in motorsport have been conservative, limited to individuals with high visibility but minimal disruption to the sport's operational integrity. If Kardashian's appearance is successful, other sports organizations might take note, inviting influencers and celebrities to participate in ceremonial or promotional capacities. Some analysts suggest this could accelerate a trend towards sports as performance art, where spectacle, media coverage, and social engagement are considered as critical to the event's success as the competition itself. At the team and operational level, insiders report a careful balancing act. Mercedes-AMG Petronas, Hamilton's current team, has not commented officially, but marketing strategists suggest that the team could benefit from the positive press and increased visibility while simultaneously needing to manage purist fan expectations. Race organizers, too, would likely evaluate how to integrate a celebrity presence without compromising safety, race schedules, or the ceremonial integrity of F1 protocols. Reports indicate contingency planning would include rehearsals, coordination with FIA safety officers, and tightly controlled media access, ensuring that while the appearance generates buzz, it does not disrupt the competition itself. Long-term, the Kardashian F1 intersection raises questions about how sports, media, and celebrity influence will coexist in the coming decade. Will F1 continue to strategically blend celebrity spectacle with racing, or will purists push back, demanding a return to tradition? Could this set a precedent for other marquee events, from the Monaco Grand Prix to the U.S. Grand Prix in Austin, Texas, where media visibility and audience growth are increasingly prioritized alongside competitive integrity? Analysts suggest that such moments could reshape the branding of Formula One globally, encouraging partnerships that blur the line between entertainment and sport in ways previously unimaginable. In essence, Kim Kardashian's potential role is more than ceremonial. It is a symbol of the evolving intersection of culture, commerce, and competition. Whether she waves the checkered flag, presents a trophy, or simply appears on the grid, the ripple effects could redefine how Formula One approaches marketing, fan engagement, and its positioning within global pop culture for years to come. Behind the roaring engines, precision engineering, and glitzy celebrity headlines lies the story that resonates most deeply with everyday Americans: the human connection. Whether or not Kim Kardashian ultimately waves the checkered flag, the conversation itself has struck a chord with fans, families, and viewers who see in this moment more than just spectacle. It's a reflection of aspiration, curiosity, and shared cultural moments that bring people together. For fans of Kardashian, the news sparks a unique sense of pride and excitement. Across social media platforms, young adults and teenagers express awe at the idea that someone from reality television, fashion, and social media could enter the hallowed grounds of Formula One, a sport historically distant from mainstream American culture. One TikTok creator remarked, "Seeing Kim at F1 would make me actually watch the whole race. It's like two worlds colliding." For many, this is about more than a flag. It's about influence, visibility, and seeing a figure they admire bridging the gap between entertainment and elite sports. Meanwhile, F1 fans, including families who have passed down their passion for racing over generations, find themselves caught between nostalgia and fascination. Parents explain to children the significance of the checkered flag and the tradition it represents, while simultaneously acknowledging the curiosity that the Kardashian presence generates. One fan forum post captured this duality perfectly. "I grew up watching F1 with my dad, and this feels weird, but also exciting. If it gets my kids interested in racing, maybe it's worth it." The moment becomes an intergenerational conversation, a rare event where traditional sports culture and contemporary celebrity culture intersect in a way that invites discussion and shared engagement. The family angle also adds emotional texture. Reports suggest that Hamilton's inner circle and team staff are both intrigued and protective, aware of the intense media scrutiny any celebrity association brings. Behind the headlines, these are human stories of preparation, anticipation, and careful orchestration, of balancing personal relationships with professional responsibility. The idea of Kardashian on the grid is not just a media spectacle. It is a human story of public attention, potential pressure, and the ways high-profile figures navigate both admiration and criticism in real time. Fan perspectives extend beyond admiration or skepticism. They reveal cultural identity and engagement. American audiences are particularly fascinated because this story represents a merging of two distinctly global phenomena: Hollywood celebrity and Formula One racing. It's a narrative that speaks to curiosity, aspiration, and a hunger for experiences that feel larger than life. Whether it's imagining Kardashian in a racing suit, waving the checkered flag, or simply witnessing a media spectacle that dominates headlines, the emotional connection is tangible, resonating with a population eager for stories that are both glamorous and relatable. Ultimately, this emotional angle underscores why everyday Americans care about what might seem like a trivial ceremonial role. It's not just about racing or celebrity. It's about storytelling, shared experience, and cultural imagination. It's about imagining what could happen when worlds collide, and the thrill that comes from seeing global icons step into spaces where we least expect them. By tapping into aspiration, curiosity, and human fascination, this moment transforms a single ceremonial act into a story that captures attention, sparks conversation, and evokes emotion across millions of people. As we stand at the edge of what could be one of the most talked about moments in Formula One history, the story of Kim Kardashian potentially waving the checkered flag is far from over. Whether you're a longtime F1 fan, a follower of celebrity culture, or someone simply fascinated by the collision of two global phenomena,